So the brother literally took himself out, and I was glad that he killed himself. See, you don't get into that, because everything because we are on the survival thing. Everything is based on living, any cost. No, living ain't shit. That's that old Christian mentality. Oh, I'm just glad I woke up this morning. Well, a goddamn dog just woke up this morning. How you know there's God? He woke you up this morning. Hell, a fucking rat woke up this morning. That don't mean shit. But at what level? What capacity? You see what I'm saying? So based on the capacity, you understand what I'm saying? The right thing to do was to take yourself out for the simple fact that this ain't shit. And for the mere fact that he did that is letting you know that it's a doggone gesture, that this shit is over. He's only going where we going anyway. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to start thinking that particular mentality and stop valuing life as so precious. Fuck the dumb shit. You understand what I'm saying? You grasping for straws, Russian roulette, spin the fucking bottle. You understand what I'm saying? This is nothing. This is over with. And for the mere fact that life is tedious and repetitious, and you got to develop new ways to even enjoy yourself, or new drugs to take yourself out of this, it means that the airplane is gone. In the story. You understand what I'm saying? And you should be looking at that every day. Every day you wake up, you go, look, it's another damn day. I got to invent something new. You understand? To drug myself out about this poisonous bullshit down here. You see what I'm saying? And it's even like that in the scriptures. In the Gospel of Thomas, the one that they took out of the Bible, said, if for those people seeking, may you find. And when you find, you should be distraught and disturbed when you find knowledge, based on the world around you. But if you are disturbed, start rejoicing, because the kingdom is at hand. You see what I'm saying? But it's saying that all this, when your eyes are open, you see the bullshit for what it is. And you shouldn't enjoy this particular stuff and say everything gonna be all right. These drug things. You see what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful day. What makes it a damn beautiful day? You understand what I'm saying? When your people can't even enjoy shit. But my point here is we can't go back. So the whole revolutionary movement to take us back to our own aspect of civilization is bullshit, because we didn't start out in civilization. We started out from a divine realm, and this is what all the actual spirituality and all of the texts talk about. So for the mere fact that I want to know why Farrakhan is doing a Million Family March. For what? For what reason? I mean, what is the concept of these marches? Of not just Farrakhan, anybody. What is the concept? You see what I'm saying? But confusion. So any form of this particular transmutation is you cannot accept going back. You see. So therefore, anything that is remotely resembles common sense, logic, rationale, throw that motherfucker out the door. We have to tackle and go with extreme madness, because that's what we are. Extremely mad. And there's something in that. When you tap into that madness, you start to grow. And I'm like, wait a minute. Well, I'm not talking to our people. I'm talking to the people in this room. There's a difference. Our people don't want to hear shit. There is no black nation. There is no black unity. There is only a remnant. Like all ancient scriptures, the parts that was left in that was telling the truth says there will only be a remnant. You see what I'm saying? The upper room, a remnant, an aftermath. And that's the only thing that we are concerned about. We're not talking about the masses. That's one thing we have to get this at this particular time. It has nothing to do with the masses. It has nothing to do with the revolution and the evolution of the race. That's gone. This has to do with the evolution of the entire universe. In this particular case, the redoing of the entire universe, or the overhauling of the entire universe. And that is left to the people that this particular information is given to at this particular time. It's like one sister from Ethiopia say, what you are talking about is alien to our people, because when these people get up every morning, they have to think of survival. How am I going to eat? And it's not with us like, how I'm going to get to the supermarket. Am I going to get a ride to the supermarket? No, it's how am I going to get some food in whatever kind of ration is out there for me. So you're talking about a people that for you to even talk on the concept of advanced metaphysics is so alien to them, because their concept of survival is at such a level. The survival mode is so high until they don't have time to ponder the philosophical origins of that metaphysical construct.
They are so busy. So the whole concept of them would be alien. You see, even if you go to the bush, or even if you would go to the person in the modern cities, the concept of survival is so alien. So we're only still talking about a select people. And we're not just talking about Africa. We're talking about here in America. And that's the reason why we can't reach the people, because we didn't understand that what the sister said in Africa holds true for right here in America. The concept of survival. Even if you're not even talking about the underclass, even if this thing permeates all the way to the upper echelon. Whereas a person with a master's degree can say, how is that going to put food on my table? So they never get out of the survival mode. Even if you got 10 Lexuses. You see, they never get out of survival mode. The whole concept, we're talking about people that never graduate beyond the survival mode. You see, that's why you got more white people that can grasp this, because they are the people that set the standard for survival, because they done taken over the planet. They got time to do other shit than survive. But these are psychological ramifications why we now see why our people, after 10 years of hearing all this profound knowledge, can't get it. Because we're stuck in a survival existence. We're talking about survival creatures. We're talking about a disease or a way of life that doesn't allow anything other than that. So any philosophical thing is like Chinese or Martian Braille. You see, it's the whole grasp of it. Or such a thing that's the fantasy world. And even in the Sufi mysteries, they say the entire aspect is the realm of imagination. The realm of imagination is real. It is the only reality there is. That's why this reality is only based on survival. And that's what the white boy says. It was even in the movie X-Files, the X-Files movie. The guy said, survival is the ultimate form of theology. Survival is the ultimate form of theology. And he has us on that survival mode. That is the only form of theology. You see. So, we're not talking about the mass of people. We're talking about a people that at least can get their mind free for the amount of hours we got up in this shit. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem right there. We still, and to this day, the Afrocentric movement of 10 years ago based their premise on Up You Mighty Race, which was based on the premise of another movement 20 years prior to that, about 30 years now, your whole civil rights movement. A political movement to get enough people functioning in just this society. But this has nothing to do with that. But when you say through God all things are possible, that's when things get vague, get broad. Correct. You understand what I'm saying? Unapproachable. And although these are cliches that we use to get by in everyday life, these cliches diminish things because they diminish the human ability to tap into the universe, the omniverse, or whatever you call God. You are actually cut off from it. Just by giving all the power over to a deity outside of yourself, when the only bridge to the deity is through yourself. And if the deity is the one that has all the power, the omnipotent God, well, why the hell he fucking around with you and blaming you for stuff down here that's going to chastise you from stuff when he got all the power in the first place? You see what I'm saying? So my point here is we live in a society where we are codependent on the government and on some spook aspect of God where science or us not really knowing, not getting to the root of the matter, does not manifest. So in so many words, the reason why we never figure out the telephone is that way because we're trained not to. You see, we're trained not to. Or if we figure out that the telephone is that way, subconsciously we think that in actuality only the European can do that. You see what I'm saying? Only the European can do that. And then, if the ones that say, well, we know it's not the European, the first thing they say is God that's doing all of this. In so many words, it's still an unapproachable method where you're not responsible for tapping into your own energies. Now, don't get me wrong, the white boy has already figured this out. He figured out if it's going to get done, I'm going to do it. You see what I'm saying? He worships God better than us. You know what I mean by that? We always say, you know, the white boy don't worship no God. No, the white boy figured it out. The white boy figured out that the only kind of energy you got to utilize in this universe is the energy that you put together and take advantage of. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not sitting around with the theology of worshiping God just by thanking God for everything and saying that's spiritual. He's doing God and being God by figuring that, by knowing that if it's going to get done, the universe has already given me the tools to do it, and I can manipulate it, I can do it. Problem is we take all of our energy and put it on something else outside of us.
It's a matter of recognizing it, and but we can't recognize it through other deities as far as giving them the power. When their power is, in the book of the law it says, had it, which is the same black dot. He said, do not worship me, I am the worshiper. The others will be known in the physical realm, I never. So you're never going to see me as long as the physical realm exists. So therefore, become me, basically, in so many words. The only link you have is not an entity on the outside. It is, they say, the gods of men are fools. It is the inside. And that's what Newt ordained us. So that a millennium blackness is, in so many words, it's what I've been talking about all the time now, but it's also honing in to say, at this particular time, I don't think the major events that everybody's looking for, that the white boy guy is looking for, because he'll always invent some new major events. Those major events are already here. You see what I'm saying? And we can't just be waiting for black people to rise, because that's another shit too, especially in New York. Black people on the rise. Black people ain't on shit. But getting their ass whipped and going to jail and whatever damn thing. We are on the rise. The conscious community and the ones that we talk about always think that this thing is growing because we are wrapped into a conscious community, but all you got to do is look at your goddamn family member and know that's some bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Your close friends and know that them niggas ain't is dead as hell and know that we're only talking about us. So this is the only people we have to deal with right now. It has nothing to do with the outside, and now at this particular time it don't have nothing to do with time. It has something to do with churning up something and making a bomb now. And also too, it has something to do with it because in actuality I'm like him. Last month or so I'm like, look man, what's the damn point? What's the point in living? I mean, yeah, you can make plans and you can psych yourself out and look forward to some stuff, but you're only looking forward to all the stuff you done had before. But I'm saying ultimately, outside of this knowledge and stuff, what's the doggone point? So that itself, when it gets to that particular level, it is time. The time is actually now. And I'll tell you how much the time is actually now. By no means that I want to go and by no means that last week I did a lecture in Harlem, and I knew that I was going to start back on the circuit in February, but I dreaded getting it. I said, with any luck, hopefully, I don't have to do this because this shit will all be over. You see what I'm saying? Will all be over. So the time that we're talking about is we're talking about now. We're not going to wait on black people to get no more consciousness because that ain't happening. Black people ain't going to do shit. You understand what I'm saying? And we even wonder why, and we even have to question why we even have to even talk about the concept of race. Not talking about white people, don't get me wrong now. But the point I'm trying to make is when we talk about this concept of the race, that is a myth. All we have is us. You see what I'm saying? But it's comforting to know that in actuality, there wasn't nothing but a few of us in the beginning anyway. And all this other stuff is like the vampire thing was saying, you're just a doggone weak genetic strain. And maybe that's why they can't get it. Because it's got something to do with what, in order to get something, you got to have something. You see what I'm saying? You got to have something. You see, maybe that's why they can't get it.
Peace. Man, I've been working hard, man. It's been an entire week, I think. I haven't made no videos in, I think, like 5-6 days. But that don't matter. Had a lot going on. Universe been throwing a lot at me. And I can say I've been handling it okay. I can say that it could have been handled better, a lot of stuff, but it ain't nothing too major. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing that I can't handle. But today I really want to talk about the mundane. The word mundane means lack of excitement or interest, you know what I'm saying, or dull. If you go to the origin, it says the world. The world is based off of physical and material experiences, a series of that. So anybody that's living in the mundane world, and by what I mean by living in the mundane world, I mean by this is all you see. You know what I'm saying? You can't see with your third eye. You can't see the bullshit for what it is, because that's all it is bullshit. So an individual that lives like that has no interest in what they can't see. So they're mundane. And just because an individual is conscious or thinks he or she is conscious doesn't mean that they're not mundane or have a mundane understanding of truly what's going on here. The planet moves in a series of cycles, and we've been experiencing a lot of fucked up shit. But the most advanced way of looking at it is why. You know, we think that the bullshit that is happening to us is because we're hated. We can't possibly be hated if everybody and their mama is trying to follow behind us. Everything about the entire world says us. And that right there, a lot of people won't agree, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for your agreements. I'm here to just share what I know to be true, and you take it and do with it what you want. See, we got these different spirits that we dealing with, and we worship them. We can't worship them. They worship us. You feel what I'm saying? These are just tools that we can use to just get us by. But ultimately, when we cross over to the next level, the next step in actual life, not this bullshit ass reality, you feel what I'm saying? Those spirits that we was dealing with, it's not going to be there. Not unless you take them with you. Because it's just aspects of your mind. And if these certain things done right to you, shit, you can take them. It ain't shit but bacteria. Energy. They are actually our children. The whole Greek mythology story was talking about us falling, our children rising up and trapping us in these physical bodies, Pandora's box. Our soul is trapped inside of the body. You know what I'm saying? And now we living like how we living, or are we living? You know what I'm saying? So everybody be scared to death. Lately I've been getting into it, people, and that's my fault for allowing someone to penetrate my cipher. But see, you know, I look at everything as a lesson. Why am I going through this? I realize I'm a Leo. This body was born under Leo. This person. So I got a lot of pride. I mean, that's not too hard to realize, but when you actually realize it and accept it for what it is, you know what I'm saying? That's what this is all about. You gotta find that's what's hidden about you, you know what I'm saying? Since a kid, I had a lot of pride. What the fuck does a child have pride about? So then you know it's deeper to that. Your soul chose this specific body. Fall under whatever zodiac sign to balance your soul out, your karma, your karmic debt. We think we fuck up, we do this, we do that, we gonna cut back. It's all a choice off of us. And then, right, you talking about bending up, doing this, doing that, it's over with. You got the ability to do whatever, whenever, however, and whatever you want to do. But if you chasing a group of individuals and all of that shit or whatever, right, you're going to find the wrong group of individuals. There's going to be a part of your life where you realize that don't nobody know what you know. So all the people that don't know what you know, it's not for them. You know what I'm saying? You doing the work for them, but it's not for them to sit back and listen. It's not for you. It's not your job to try to seek them out, because you're going to waste your time and energy, your spiritual energy and physical energy. You going to be neglecting your actual flock, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And yourself. Man, somebody told me some real shit the other day. It was petty. But sometimes you gotta be petty. Sometimes you have to be selfish. My dude told me, like, he say, I don't like getting mad at people because I told myself, while I'm sitting over here in this corner, you living your best life. So I'm not finna sit here over here mad. Why you happy? Man, I could use that concept on damn near anything. That's how raw that shit is. Like, yeah, it's petty as hell, but like, think about it. It's good for yourself. The shit that makes us mad and tick, why does it? Actually, that's how you go. You gotta learn about yourself. Because all of this knowledge that's out, it seems like ain't nobody getting it. Not for real, for real. I feel like the only motherfuckers that's interested in this type of shit is the motherfuckers that's been on this shit forever, which is fine, you know what I'm saying? Because my dude, you know, he did say it's only us, and I'm witnessing this shit with my own eyes. You get what I'm saying? So, but I barely talk to for the motherfuckers that call themselves conscious. I can see that they're serious and genuine about it, because I was that individual. I was intellectualizing this shit so much that I was just intelligent. You know what I'm saying? My righteous attributes was intelligent, Father, universal. This is why I call myself BabaAkil, Father intelligent. You know what I'm saying? But I see the seriousness. But it's like, ain't nobody going deep. The stories that I'm hearing on the internet now is like stories like that's been out, but it's stories that's been put out by certain individuals that you don't like. By the enemy. We gotta go be odd with the enemy. Ain't nobody talk about before these motherfuckers came on the planet, before we created them. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody know that. All the stories now are so broad. There really is no detail in your stories. Which doesn't matter. It doesn't. But the real niggas that's doing the work, we see that shit. So you can't get them, motherfucker. I'm not about to spend hours watching your shit. You know what I said? You gotta tell the people some real shit, man. Some concepts. You get what I'm saying? I want you to sit back in a meditative position and try to induce an ego death. It can be so easy. The way I do it, I sit back in a meditative position. You gotta get comfortable. However you want to do it. If you want to sit on the ground, though, I'm not even gonna lie. The ground is so good for meditation because it's like, first and foremost, you connected with the, you know what I'm saying. You grounded, you connected with the earth. But it's like, man, it's like the energy. It just happens faster. So you could do that or anything, but just make sure you're comfortable. Now, this is what I learned right here. See, when they talk about meditation, there's no right or wrong way to do meditation. But what I learned is, when you get those little irritating moments in meditation on shit, if you could just push past it, it would help to kill the ego. See, that itch, that scratch, that ache, all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's the ego trying to get you to break up out of that. The voices you hear, the chatter, that's the ego trying to give you concept to make you lose focus because it can't think past what's going on. So I like to sit, close my eyes, clear my mind. I take like about 5 deep breaths. Deep breaths. In, slow, in, out. In the mouth, out the nose. Then I count my breaths. I take 5 deep breaths in. I count 5 seconds as I breathe. And I count 5 seconds as I exhale. And it calms me down. My eyes close. I look up in my third eye. Like when I close my eyes, I look up in my third, because it helps activate the pineal gland. You gotta try to look like you're trying to look out your third eye. While I'm doing this, imagining the white light in my third eye. And in my head, I'm repeating, I am nothing, I know nothing, and I come from nothing. I am nothing, I know nothing, I come from nothing. Because the ego knows all. It portrays it. It wants to know all. You gotta keep it real, right? When you first got into this, it was a big ass ego booster, and I guess that's good because the ego helps you survive. But at the same time, you gotta kill it because the soul is everything. The soul comes from the triple stages of darkness. Nothing. I'm in the hidden one. The void, nothingness. Nothingness isn't actually nothingness. It's the realm of potential. It's everything. You feel what I'm saying? So me saying I'm nothing, I am nothing. I'm placing myself back in the realm of potential. You feel what I'm saying? So after that, I come from nothing. I come from nothing. The triple stages of darkness. Tiamat, the great mother. Or in the physical realm, my actual mother. The black woman, God. Her womb symbolized the triple stages of darkness. I created myself, self-created myself in my own embryonic fluid. This is proven. The embryo creates the embryonic fluid itself. And the body is forming itself. The mother does not create the body at all. You do know that, right? The mother, the body, the mother, your mom, the body, is trying to kill you because it's formed inside of the body. So from day one, we gotta survive. And before we make it to the egg as a sperm cell, we still trying, like the body, the woman's body is still trying to kill us off. And only one sperm cell makes it in. And then after that, it's propellant. So, all I'm saying is, life could be actually harder. You know what I'm talking about? But I create myself. So, I say I come from nothing. And when I do this, you know what I'm saying, it puts me in a place. I don't know what it will do for you, but it puts me in a certain place. A certain place of elevation. I am nothing, I know nothing, I come from nothing. That's the most humblest sentence that I can, you know what I'm saying, say. Because the soul is absolute supreme to everything. But to do this, you have to kill the ego. In order to raise the soul up, you gotta kill the ego. Because all of that fucked up shit is blocking the soul, the Kundalini energy from rising up and illuminating your pineal gland. So then you can illuminate your crown chakra. And other chakras outside of that. You do know it's other chakras outside. Hopefully you do know. I'm not finna get into that. But we have chakras outside of our body. Because you have a body outside of this physical body. That's not ours. It's just the avatar. And if you live your life in the survival mode, you know what I'm saying? That's how you're gonna live your next life. We gotta get out of the fight or flight. Living from the medulla oblongata, we gotta live from here. It starts here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feel it in the heart. You know? I got into it with one of my people, you know what I'm saying? He was black and shit. And then the people around was like, man, you know, we gotta stick together and all that shit or whatever. But that nigga not doing what I'm doing right now. I love all my people. I told a nigga I love him. I don't gotta know you. A nigga ain't gonna tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a street nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got pride. And niggas be homophobic. But I love y'all. With all my heart. And I be like, fuck Black Lives Matter. And I be like, fuck niggas. But I still love y'all. Because at the end of the day, I am you and you are me. And our minds are for the same goals. And our efforts are for the same cause. Everything I do is for you. What is pertaining to this spirituality, the elevation of the soul, it's the elevation of you. Anything I do individually, right, is for the betterment of the species. Because that's what it is. I gotta learn my niche. I can't be doing the same thing. We doing the same thing, right? It's gonna take a long time for us to get off this motherfucking planet. Because the goal was to get off the planet from the get-go. See, when we got down here, right? When we got down here, we built them certain systems up only to raise us up on the spiritual level. That's it. Point blank period, man. Now we're at a point to where we are supposed to rise up on all these levels. Like, check this out. It ain't no spiritual leaders. None of that shit. I'm on here talking this shit because I done learned something. So hopefully, if somebody learns something from this video, man, I beg you to get on your phone and record your experience, whatever it is, even if it's one video. Because at the end of the day, if somebody watched that and they learn something from that shit, hopefully they do the same shit. At the end of the day, that's what the fuck it's about. It's not about, ooh, come join me, come do this. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. You feel what I'm saying? What the fuck? We sticking together for what? At the end of the day, niggas ain't trying to stick together. Don't fly with that. I spent my entire life. This is a nigga that gangbang. I used to gangbang hella. Like, at 6 years old, I knew in my brain and I wanted to game. I wanted to be a high-ranking gang member. I wanted to sell a lot of fucking drugs. That's real shit. 5 years old, I knew this shit. I'm throwing up gang signs, and I wasn't even kicking it with gang members. My OG ain't let me go outside. But in my head, this is what the fuck I want to do. So now I know now it was a deeper level. It was a spiritual level. That level was a spiritual meeting. I'm tired as fuck. I've been up all night, man. About 10 hours. Going on 11. I just couldn't neglect the video. But yeah. Now is not the time to be banding together on that level. See, when I say that, don't have the fear of separation. Once you tap into that level of the spirit, we gonna be connected, point blank, period. And I literally mean connected. Like, you will start seeing it. The right motherfuckers gonna start coming to you. So you can't seek and, you know what I'm saying, focus on the outside of yourself. You only gotta focus on yourself. When you get on this motherfucking camera, man, you gotta talk about your experience. Because your experience is gonna help the person's next experience. That person shouldn't be seeking your outcome because they're gonna get a different outcome. That's just how it goes. And you can't ask why. The why is everything you see. All of these systems are not different. The only thing that probably different is the people, and it's not even different. But probably the language and a different story, names and shit. But those names, if you understand the meanings and shit or whatever, means the same thing. So, all that's saying is, when you use the concept, because the concept is the same. That's what's the same, the foundation. When you use the concept, the techniques and shit like that or whatever, you get a different outcome. But you can tell the story the same way, just in your own words. And that's how you do it. Niggas be steady talking about how, what do you call that shit? They be talking about how we did certain things back in the day, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That shit was interesting to me and all that shit. But I got that shit, and I studied that shit for about a good month or two. And I moved on. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. But at the same time, people don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about certain things, man. Like, it's about you. That's what it's about. It's not about you getting anybody. It's not about you joining anything. It's not about you joining a system. You know what I'm saying? Trying to bring back a system and anything. You know what I'm saying? If you feel in your heart that's what you should do, then you go ahead and you do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as far as this consciousness goes, this is not what it's about. It's a deeper meaning behind that. This is about the species, man. You know what I'm saying? The entire species, if you look at it, is fucked up. Here, the entire species is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? We are the oldest in the galaxy, and the galaxy is waiting on us. So, we, the people that's conscious, we gotta be the absolute reflection of the Great Mother. The darkness is coming. You know what I'm saying? in, what do you call that? In the middle of the Milky Way galaxy, you see that black hole. They keep talking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that dark energy, dark matter. That's that melanin. That's the other side. You know what I'm saying? Eating up this entire universe. For us, it ain't nothing. For them, it's hell. You know what I'm saying? Wash up the particles. Wash up the virus. That's all it is. Parasite. Fungus. When you get that level of understanding, life is so easy. Who gives a fuck what they do, who they kill? Because whoever one of us that dies, we going to a place that you gotta be one of us to enter. And that's a great place. The realm is getting big. It's getting so big that when we die, we just move on, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta raise that light. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta be doing that work for real, and the work is not to gain followers, because when you gain so many motherfucking followers and all that shit or whatever, you gaining so many followers, you doing this, and you doing that, you forget and you lose the time to do the work, the inner work the inner path. You feel what I'm saying? See, because you probably was doing this, and then damn, you got something, now you talking about it, you know what I'm saying? And now you find yourself talking about the same exact thing because you have no time, right, to study anything else. You know what I'm saying? Work on any other techniques and any other concepts or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got so much time to focus on getting this shit out. Shit that don't even fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't spiritual, if it ain't happened to you, if a motherfucker ain't really ask you a question about this shit, you know what I'm saying? And even that, you know what I'm talking about? Ask they ass why? What the fuck? Because what the fuck does it mean? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck they have to do with any fucking thing? You know what I'm talking about? On a deeper level, I heard a motherfucker talking about, you know what I'm saying, kids being, what do you call that shit? Taking and shit. You know what I'm saying? On a deeper level though, right? What about the motherfuckers that's eating us? Fuck the kids that's being taken and raped and all the other bullshit, and been having sex and all that shit. Fuck that shit. The shit happened and happened. You know what I'm saying? This shit happened. And you motherfuckers scared to say shit like this, but the shit happened and happened. You know what I'm talking about? Now, me personally, I'm not with that shit. No, fuck no. That shit bogus as hell. But what I'm saying is, for a motherfucker to get up here and be like, oh, boo-hoo, 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 boo-hoo. Did it happen directly to a motherfucker you know? Because I know some motherfuckers that this shit happened to. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, shit happens. You know what I'm talking about? It's not normal, or what I'm saying, but this shit happened. Like, it's kind of common for me. Like, I know a lot of people like that, and it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna get up on this bitch and be talking about it, is what I'm saying. What I will get on this bitch and talk about is motherfucker that's eating us to try to become us. What about that? What about the secret societies that's snatching up these motherfuckers on the streets and eating them for these certain rituals or whatever? See, they're not gonna eat you dumb motherfuckers, you unhealthy motherfuckers or whatever. They snatching up these homeless motherfuckers off the streets. I watched this video, right? And this is how I know it's real, because I think I talked about this, but I don't know. I watched this video, and the video was old as fuck, but like it took place like a few years, like some years ago, like I think in the 90s, and it was talking about how the crackheads is different, how like the like the crackheads and the homeless people, how they be the bums, like when they come up to you and they ask you money and shit like that. Like back in the day, they used to really have shit to offer and shit like that. Now they just ask you for money and shit. And now white people, they just come up and just ask for money and shit like that. And you know, I'm young as hell, so when I see this shit, it was normal to me. But I started to ask questions and people's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but this the other thing. Now, Another thing was, this was Bobby Hemmett. He said that he said that when you notice that like they had snatched, it like the streets where homeless people be at, it'd be empty, and then like on certain days or whatever, they'd be out. So he was saying that like they asses taking crazy people out and like out the crazy home and just releasing them and putting them out. Now I don't really remember because I don't think he went really further into like as to why or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He just say it's like some type of experiment or whatever, right? So I really didn't listen to that like that. Like I didn't get nothing from that because, you know, I forgot what the video was about, but I was just listening to it, get my knowledge. That's what I do. I get my knowledge, look concepts, references, books or whatever. I go off the video, go grab the book, read the book, see what I get and all that shit, and I do what I do. But I actually experienced this shit firsthand where I'm at now. So I live on the street, you know what I'm saying, and it's supposed to be a fucked up street. It's not fucked up to me because of where I'm from. But it is fucked up if you not like that, if you're not like from that type of life. So anyways, I spoke about this before. I spoke about me and my girlfriend going to this, like walking to this little restaurant and us getting into a little confrontation, but not necessarily a confrontation because it could have really went left. I could have got into it with this guy and we could have fought. But it didn't happen like that. Like shit, I was with my girl and I felt like shit, you can't be no gangster everywhere, especially when you with your girl. So anyways, the nigga ended up shooting at us. Now we didn't get hit obviously, but the whole time I'm like, man, I know I was protected or whatever. Now my mind, I'm like, man, I'm not mad at the nigga because I know he was crazy. I didn't do nothing to him for him to shoot me, so I know he was crazy and all that shit. And I kept saying that shit. I know it was crazy. I know it was crazy. I know it was crazy. Then I watched that video, but I didn't even put two and two together. And then like when I bring it up because people be talking about it, like, yeah, man, I got shot at up the street. That shit ain't nothing. And then I'm like, yeah, but I know the nigga was crazy, so I don't give no fuck. Yeah, it was crazy. Spirit tell me, whoop, and I put that shit together. You know what I'm saying? I remember the Bobby Hemmett video where I'm like, damn, that shit real. Because it's a lady that walks up and down the street butt naked. You know what I'm saying? She'll have a robe on, but then she'll take it off. She'll walk up the street butt naked, right? White lady. Now, this specific white lady that walks up and down the street butt naked, her family came and got her, put her in rehab, right? It's another white lady that looks just like her. I'm talking about like she could be a clone. Like her twin or something. I thought it was the same person. I never knew her name because I just got over here, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. And there's hella people over here that's like weird ass crazy people. It's not your average crackheads, man. Like, and I know the drugs is different now and all that shit, but it don't fucking matter. Like, shit is different. Like, the drugs was different back then, but that shit was different for the people then. You know what I'm talking about? So, it's just different experiments. So, I'm really starting to see this shit for what it is, especially because I work work at nighttime, third shift. I'll be up all night. I see a lot of weird shit. Starting to see this shit for what it is, man. So, but you gotta have tunnel vision, man. You gotta focus on self. You know what I'm saying? But these homeless people and shit like that, they snatching their ass up. Homeless person, their body, it gets, what do you call that shit? it gets clean, it detoxes itself, health hazard. You don't eat what the fuck you eat. They don't drink what you drink, you know what I'm saying? They barely eat and all that shit, so, and they constantly moving. So they constantly on the workout and shit. So, they the perfect candidate. Let's talk about that shit, you know what I'm saying? They snatching up our people on the street, chopping them up and using their body parts for these rituals and shit to gain the melanin, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You talking about some whole other shit. Some nigga that has a, what do you call that shit? fucking sexual desire. There's plenty of motherfucking pedophiles in the world. If you want to talk about them, you know what I'm saying? There's a platform for that. But if you want to talk about some spiritual shit or whatever, and kidnapping or whatever, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what the fuck they doing with these motherfucking homeless motherfuckers that they kidnapping. They eating them. They eating us, man. You feel what I'm saying? A deer, when he eats grass, that grass, because everything has spirit. So when that deer eats that grass and it goes through the body and the DNA of the deer and all of that shit or whatever, that grass now has the potential to incarnate the spirit of it, to incarnate as a deer. And when that deer gets eaten by a lion and all that shit or whatever, now this deer, the spirit, has the ability, the ability now to incarnate as a lion, so forth and so forth and so forth. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, man. So you gotta be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be so careful, because there's some of the motherfuckers out there with the genetics. Some motherfuckers out there that's like that. And now I'm starting to think that these motherfuckers that's doing the rituals now and all that shit, it's probably generations of the motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about, with the DNA and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because you are what you eat. That's why motherfuckers eat them pigs. Because a pig can eat anything. So if I eat a pig and the pig can eat anything, I can eat anything. It's fucking science, man. Motherfuckers ain't looking at it like that, man. It's as simple as that. Motherfuckers snatch you up, eat you. You feel what I'm saying? And they showing you this shit in the movies, and you just looking at it like, oh man, they doing us dirty. And oh man, I ain't letting them motherfucker do that to me, and all that shit's happening already. Stupid ass motherfucker. I'm just saying. But I ain't come on here to get all like that, man, because I'm about to lay down and go to sleep. I ain't even from my mood to you. Look, check me out though. Y'all be cool. Y'all do the meditations, man. You know what I'm saying? Wake up, do the affirmations. Wherever you at, I don't know if you wake up and the sun be out, but the sun be out really bright where I be at, you know what I'm saying? Right now it's raining, so, but I like that though. I love the rain though, you know what I'm saying? Water, that shit, yeah. But do the meditations, man. You gotta start focusing on your mental. Like, I really, when I was younger, people used to be talking about that shit. I used to be like, I'm not finna sit there and do that dumb ass shit, but I'll sit there and pray. What who the fuck I'm talking to? But it's so easy. I love to meditate now, I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's a mental thing. You just build up so much mental power. But don't forget when you meditate, you know what I'm saying, to when you build your energy up in your pineal gland or whatever, to moving around. You know what I'm saying? That's why yoga, like, not, I'm gonna say Kundalini yoga, because that's the one I've been studying. But like any yoga period, you know what I'm saying? But Kundalini yoga is decent because it teaches you how to move the energy through your body or whatever and all that shit. Because a lot of people don't know, like, when you meditate and all that shit, you raising energy and all that shit in your brain. You feel what I'm saying? So all the energy is just there. You can store it in different parts of your body and all of that shit or whatever. And it's just useful and all that shit. So that's just one thing to look at, man. But it all starts with meditation, man, focusing on whatever you want to focus on, because that's what's important. So a person can tell you to do this and do that, but if you have something to focus on, you can focus on for a long time, that's what you want to do. That's key right there. But anyways, man, I love all y'all, man. Anybody that watches this, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that gets something from this or whatever, man, like I said, man, sit back, record a video. I don't care if it's one video, man, and share that experience, because that's the most important thing. That's the only important thing. You feel what I'm saying? Only important thing is what you share. You feel what I'm saying? If it's true, it has to be true. It's coming out of you. You feel what I'm saying? It's not bullshit. You sat down, you meditated, or you got an idea, the spirit came to you, whatever. That shit came up out of you, man, so it has to be real, it has to be true. But the people want to hear that. No, you ain't got to share everything, but the people want to hear that, man. I want to hear that. You feel what I'm saying? Because however you got that, if it's not a way that I said or shared, however you got that shit, I want to get that too. I want to see what I can bring from that. And so and then I'm sure I got something to bring to the table now. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's about. That's how we come together, you know what I'm talking about? Let's build concepts. That's what I want to do. I want to build concepts, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to come together on some, whatever you doing. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you doing that? I'm finna try that out. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Because we chaotic, man. We everywhere. We evolving. It's the realm of change. But anyways, man, peace. Love y'all.